As player to reach a century of appearances if, as expected, he gets on. Club captain Ted Hill will lead the Warriors, having been released from England's squad for the Autumn Nations Cup against Ireland at Twickenham. There are first Premiership starts for centre Ollie Morris and back row forward Joe Batley, who impressed in last Friday's victory over the Northampton Saints in their pre-season friendly at Franklin's Gardens. For London Irish, Matt Rogerson captains the side for what's said to be his 50th appearance for the Exiles. Harry Elrington, Motu Matu and Sikopi Kepu form the front row, not combining with debutant Andrew Mau in the locks. London Irish Academy's Donald starts at blind side. Ireland international Sean O'Brien returning from injury to get the nod at open side, with Rogerson completing the pack. Meehan and Jackson the half-back duo. Rona and Meeks in the centres, the latter making his debut for the club. Ben Loader and Ollie Hassel-Collins are named on the wings, with Tom Homer set to don the number 15 jersey. So let's take a look at the head-to-heads, and plenty of power in both of the packs, but both coaches will be hoping that their sides can set their stall in the set, which is proving to be an ever increasingly important facet of the game at present. In the back lines, well, the two 10s face off against each other, both with plenty of youth on Billy Searle's side. Francois Huha up against Ben Meehan will be a feisty encounter at 9 in the centres. Meeks and Rona up against Venter and Morris, but plenty of pace out wide. And Ollie Hassel-Collins, who chipped in with 9 tries last season, will be trying his luck against Howe, who he lines up against. Tom Howe, who only scored 1 try last season, but that was 5 in all competitions, and he had a limited amount of appearances as well. It is now a familiar scene here. Social distancing and players finding themselves the only representatives of the support in the crowd. Now our match will be preceded by a minute's silence here for Cecil Duckworth, CBE, the Warriors president, who passed away last weekend at the age of 83. The Warriors will be wearing black armbands as well as a mark of respect to a man who really did revolutionise this rugby club. Last season, Worcester Warriors finished in 9th in the table. 7 points ahead of London Irish, who were down in 10th. They in turn finished above Leicester Tigers, with Saracens rooted to the bottom and relegated. It is London Irish who are let out onto the field of play, with a man picking up his 50th appearance for the Exiles since moving to them 3 seasons ago from the Jersey Reds, Matt Rogerson, 27 years of age. And Paddy Jackson back for his 2nd season from Perpignan. 53 points last season, yet to score a try in London Irish colours, but metronomic with the boot when he's had the opportunity. Ted Hill started his tenure as the club captain a little early due to the strange season in the midst of a global pandemic. Change of personnel took place as well. Andrew Kitchener trots out onto the field of play. Billy Searle, the man who will be wearing the number 10 jersey at Worcester this season, managed to chalk up 36 points for the Worcester Warriors, and he has a total of 105 in the Premiership after a couple of good seasons with Wasps as well. Looking to carve out a niche for himself here, alongside Duncan Weir, of course, who will be playing for Scotland this weekend. It is the minute silence, though, now for Cecil Duckworth. A man who has given so much, not only to this rugby club, but to the county of Worcestershire, to the charity, the Acorns Children's Hospice, the Wooden Spoon Society,
Yep, gotcha.
amongst others. But
thank you, fella. I'm stood
when he
next to the
took
floor
over
manager now.
as the executive here at the Worcester Warriors Club, as Worcester as it was then in 1997, oversaw the evolution of this club from a decent rugby club up to a Premiership power.
Okay, fella. Good luck.
Man in charge, Adam Leal, his 6th Premiership match at the helm, Anthony Woodthorpe, and Roy Maybank, his assistants, David Grashoff, the man who is the TMO, and it is Billy Searle who gets Worcester and London Irish's Premiership season underway, and it's Ben Loader who's underneath it. A player who attracted much attention from several other clubs at the beginning of last year. Many expected to see him on his way from the Exiles, but signed a new deal. And now they wait for the ball, something that referees will be keeping a close eye on. The 5 seconds. The scrum halves are allowed once the ball has started to come back. They build their wedge and platform before clearing away, and that ball is effectively cleared away by Ben Meehan up to just shy of halfway. So the first line out for the Warriors, collected by Bresler, who was imperious in the line out on own line out ball last season, but also 9 steals last season, which made him one of the best in the Premiership. London Irish need to try and get this to be held in, because Worcester is struggling to get it back, but they have won the penalty.
It's still a maul, so you can't tackle him to the ground. Still a maul, so you can't tackle him to the ground.
Clear explanation there from Adam Leal, where this tackle goes to ground due to it being a maul. That is an illegal play, so London Irish penalised, and George Knott, the player who gives away that penalty, and that gives Worcester a really good attacking platform here, where they will have this line out just inside the 22. Good attacking base. Bresler again the target, and collects the ball from Niall Annette, who's hit his man 2 from 2 so far. Once again, Worcester form the maul, and once again they are repelled, unable to get any real traction, and Hoo-Ha releases into midfield, where Francois Venter takes on the crash ball and somehow keeps it alive, and Hoo-Ha dances again. He had Searle couldn't quite get it away to Nanai, who was waiting, but Hoo-Ha has it again. Venter unable to envelop that. The ball goes forward first off the Worcester centre, and then off a London Irish hand, and so our first set scrummage will be an Exiles put in.
Yeah, get it in your foot. Yeah, but since it was different there because they were contesting, but once it's there and ready,
couple of minutes passed.
Cheers then. There we are, lads. Remember what we said? Really slow and patient. Let's go then.
Slow patience, what is called for from the referee. As long as there aren't any resets, so a slow, patient approach is preferable.
Come on, Sharky.
Your seconds in there. Crouch. There we are. Crouch. There, we're good, we're good. Up we come. Time off, please. We're wasting too much time here already, lads. Let's get it right. Let's wait. I'm happy with that, but I don't see any reason why you can't get your seconds in as well.
The nature of set scrummages.
If we all wait for each other, we're never going to go, will we? So let's do it. Come on, here we go.
What the best is saying, that when you're a player, you're not really conscious of the fact that it takes so long to get the scrum set. But when you're watching from the sidelines, you realise just how long it's taking, and that can become a little irksome and tiresome as well for fans and backs alike. We best talked about the recovery time of the backs, but the backs prefer to have that ball in hand and be doing something with it.
Crouch.
Marco Mama makes his return to this team.
Bind.
In the back row with Joe Batley and Ted Hill.
Set.
Meehan with the ball in.
White.
It's a great drive from Worcester, and it is London Irish who are penalised. Slaps on the back all round from the front row there. Ethan Waller, Niall Annette, Nick Shunnett coming out on top against Elrington, Metu and Sikopi Kepu. And the posts are pointed at, and Billy Searle will look to put Worcester into the lead here from the kicking tee.
Too long. We've got to get the seconds in.
Motor Metu had a disappointing time here, it is fair to say, when they last met.
No worries, what I'm saying, I'm just saying the same thing to him.
London Irish went down 20 points to 6 when these sides met last season, and Metu was red carded.
I might have to start taking it somewhere else. Okay? That's the message for now, thanks.
The early message to Matt Rogerson is that his team need to keep their discipline, otherwise the referee might be looking at more serious fines. As it is, it's just a penalty, but it does cost London Irish 3 points. Declan Kidney talked about discipline. He talked about the fact he wanted his team to put together a compact performance. Didn't want Worcester, certainly, to get the sort of scoreline that they enjoyed when they went down to the Medeski. In fact, it was at the Stoop when they last played. And as Paddy Jackson gets us back underway, it has been a disappointing start from the Exiles. They've had very little ball as Ted Hill collects the kickoff. They've done very little with it. Just 28% of possession so far has gone to the visiting team. Francois Huhart.
No, stop. Good, you're good.
Clears away towards the halfway line, and well, both sides have exited well from the kickoff. It's just can London Irish find the same sort of momentum that Worcester did from this position on the field of play.
Yeah, time the attack, guys. Time the attack, please.
Motor Metu. Ball taken well off the top of the line, but it wasn't a very sympathetic pat down. London Irish.
He threw it backwards. The guy was actually behind him, then it's gone forward, so it's a scrum. Sorry? I haven't seen this side yet.
Yeah, another put in, and just no real look there from George Knott. Collected the ball beautifully well. Should have just been passing it into the hands of Ben Meehan, but Meehan not the recipient, and the ball away to safety as far as Worcester are concerned, and they get the ball now.
Seconds in then, let's go. Seconds! Crouch!
It's going to return to Worcester just over the halfway line.
Bind!
Positive start from Alan Solomon's
Set.
team.
Advantage.
They have the advantage, so a second penalty coming from the set scrummage. It has been dominant so far from the Worcester Warriors in the set scrum. And their line-out has been solid as well. So set-piece wise, Alan Solomons will be delighted with the way that his team has started.
I'll blow it a bit earlier. Your guys are driving through you as well, Nick? Yeah.
So left-footed, so
option guys.
Tricky kick for the left footer, and he hasn't executed it well. That's the first error we've seen from the Worcester Warriors. Billy Searle putting it out beyond the dead ball line, so in spite of picking up this penalty,
yeah, just outside the line,
play comes back to level with where that penalty was given away. Knew as soon as he'd struck it that had gone wrong.
Yeah. I looked at that one, the space looked to be okay. No worries. There we go. I'll get out of the way. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. You got the gap. Seconds in, let's go.
Nick Schernett. Sporting a new haircut.
Bind!
Does he carry it off?
Sit!
Ian with the ball in. Irish knowing they want this ball out quickly because it hasn't worked for them well, and Loader was waiting, and the ball goes through the hands. Jackson waiting, Homer. Out to Hassel Collins, who dances back inside. Executes that swivel back off his left foot so well. Play up into the 22 here. And London Irish with their first attacking possession. Meehan goes again. Meeks was waiting for it. Meeks is back there to collect and then just waits the kick in for Loader to chase it. Runs out into touch, but Worcester on the back foot with a defensive line out here. They need to execute.
Time off. Need some treatment,
Nick Janet calling for treatment, and on come the Watermen. The ball released out now.
Yeah, of course you can.
Paddy Jackson getting Tom Homer into the line. Homer getting Hassel Collins for the first time, and he just glided past Milani Nanai.
No one seems to want to.
Eventually brought down, but so many times last season we saw Ollie Hassel Collins just drift back inside off the left wing and managed to gain momentum into the 22.
No, the gap's fine.
Scored some cracking tries. 979 metres made by the winger last season, which topped the pile as far as London Irish are concerned. They've driven this one back inside. Hoo-ha under real pressure there. Irish trying to get over the ball and spoil things. Certainly have put Worcester under pressure. And Hoo-ha needs to get back to the base of this scrum in order to be able to clear it away. But Worcester have recovered well here. Platforms built. And Hoo-ha can now get it away.
Let go, guys, both of you.
Decent touch, Loader's underneath it. And play taken up to the midpoint between the 22 and the 10-metre line.
Just there, thank you.
Well, Hoo-ha under pressure there, but responded well.
Stay on your front man, on your front man.
Line out ball taken by Knott. This time holds on to it. It is spoiled, but Motor Matu came round the back and set it up for Meeks, and Meeks sets it himself. Big run from O'Brien. Bounces off the first tackler, taken down the second time. Rona drives 6 metres away from the 22. That ball taken by Rogerson down on one knee. Ball recycled quite slowly there. And they have it again now. Mo. Moldovan lock. Runner drives himself up to the edge of the 22 again. Plenty of forwards out wide as Sekope Kepu takes the carry. Worcester's defence stands firm for the time being. The advantage is coming though. Sean O'Brien has taken the ground.
And they've gone backwards under pressure.
Worcester Warriors giving away an opportunity to kick a goal here. And Paddy Jackson comes in very quickly to collect the ball off Ben Meehan and point at the posts.
The tackler was in the gate. It clearly affected his pass, went straight to ground. Roll out east or west, not into the 9.
So lying on the ground there. I don't think Joe Batley can have too many complaints there about interfering with play. And with the score at 3-0 to Worcester, we have just over 10 minutes on the board here. Paddy Jackson will have his first shot on goal. Flags raised. Both kickers find their mark with their opening attempts on goal, and we are 3 points apiece. And so far Declan Kidney will be, I should imagine, very pleased with the way that his side responded to an opening 5 minutes where they barely got a touch of the ball. And one would say that it probably did stem from that missed penalty from Billy Searle if he'd put that into touch, and the Warriors had managed to make the most of an attacking line out 5 minutes from the London Irish line. Well, we could be looking at a very different scoreboard indeed. Instead, we see an immediate response.
I'm hearing you. I'm not seeing as much of a problem as you are at the moment. I think it's all right. Just to the left. I think the last one was all right. Would you agree? Let's go. I don't want to have to put you on an exact.
We've got an injury behind us, Adam.
Knocked forward from the restart.
Let's go.
And it is another London Irish put in now. So far, Worcester Warriors have been dominant in the set scrum. They have 2 penalties to to their name. London Irish managed to get a quick heel on their last put in, and they managed to get the
So why are you
ball
stepping to the right of it?
as a consequence, and they turned that into good attacking ball. First time that we saw Hassel Collins
Stand to the
introduced.
left of the mark. I don't want to have to treat you like school children, but I will. Stand there, let's go.
Adam Leal having a little conversation there with the front rows. Nick Shennett, Nalanet and Ethan Waller lining up against Harry Elrington, Moto Matu and Sekopi Kepu. So 2 penalties conceded out the scrum so far by London Irish, but they managed to get their last one right.
Bind! You're not balanced on the line.
2 penalties conceded, now a free kick conceded. It is getting quite miserable in that front row at the moment. Harry Elrington, the player penalised. Worcester call all of the London Irish 8 back and say, well, we'll do it again with our put in.
Thank you.
Open. Here we go. Open. Second. Second. Yeah.
Crouch!
Good.
Bind! Set!
Good heel. Marco Mama picks up. They have the advantage here. Billy Searle delivers it well, and Ventus slices through. Lovely ball. Great hands out to Howe. Howe up against Hassel Collins. Ducks back inside. Tom Howe held up 5 metres short of the line. Marco Mama in support. Smuggled it through to Ted Hill. The ball went forwards.
Knocked on. Scrum.
The advantage was over, and it is London Irish who have the put in, although that hasn't been too much of an advantage for the Exiles in this match so far.
Got it. Got the advantage. Run it down. Yeah, it's all right.
Under the left hand
Thank
section,
you.
yeah?
Trying to slip that ball, Marco Mama back inside to Ted Hill, but he had the close attention of both Curtis Rona and Matt Rogerson.
Open. Let him play. Let him play.
London Irish with the chance to clear their lines.
Seconds.
Crouch.
Bind! Set!
And the heel better this time, and Rogerson picks up and bulldozes his way straight through Billy Searle up towards the edge of that 22. Great run from the number 8, making his 50th appearance for the club. Sekopi Kepu is called in, and Meehan now has the platform to get this one clear. Larry Nanai awaits the ball and collects well, the fullback, and gets it across to Searle. He'll chip across, and Beck watches on. Morris touches it back inside. Beautifully done to Venter. Here comes the ball zipped across again. Anton Bresler. Hoo-ha. Searle. Big tackle from O'Brien. Was it not forward, was the question from Adam Leal. Nanette. Irish over that powerfully.
There was a knock on by White.
Sorry, guys.
In the
And
tackle.
holding on.
Let me just
against the
explain.
penalty.
So I got the call just as I was giving the penalty. There was a knock on in the tackle. That was a holding on, so we're going to go back for the
By
scrum.
7 White.
Not the penalty. By
7 White.
Sean
Yeah,
O'Brien
over
did indeed knock it forwards.
here. Over here.
On me, that's it, Adam.
Not
There,
perfect.
there, you're there.
So this incident means naught.
Yeah. It was jacked, yeah. He did put it in, I just got it a little bit late, that's all.
Just there,
He is right.
the hand from Sean O'Brien in the tackle.
No worries.
And as a consequence, it means
Right,
that
outcome,
Worcester will
let's
have the put in. So quite a
Guys, that was
swing
great last time.
as
Let's keep
far
it
as
like that.
mood is concerned
That was
within the
perfect.
two squads from that one incident.
Open. Yes, boss. Open. Good pass here. Hips. Let's go, seconds. Let's go, pass it.
Ben! Crouch!
Good.
Bind! Set! Both players down, use it or reset.
Mama gets it to Hoo-ha down this near side. Hoo-ha bursts through the gap. Supporting play comes from Batley. We've got Melanie Nanai in support there. Full-back stands over it. Hoo-ha, back across to Kitchener. That looked quite high nobly from Sean O'Brien. Ball comes down again, and Venter just manages to squeeze past one, and, well, Waller gets the ball back as he tried to get it out wide. Ball back inside Bresler. Bresler just looking for the support, and they're all in front of him. Worcester reform once again. They had so many options there, but players just getting ahead of play. Hoo-ha calls them to the left. Waller waits. A long time George Knott takes to bring him down, but he does bring him down. Marco Mama. Now some composure required by Alan Solomon's men. Kept tight. Nyla Nett. 7 or 8 metres short of the line. Drive in. Hoo-ha to Ted Hill. Motu Matu tries to bring him down. Rogerson does. Hoo-ha short to Waller again. The roar continues. Zanet drives his way. Just short of the line. Hoo-ha flicks it out wide. They just need a few extra numbers there. But the ball is forwards. And London Irish have the put in, and that composure that I was saying needed to be called for, not exercised. Just a little too frantic.
Time off, we've got players down.
Ball slipping out of the hands of Venter, going forwards.
Good call, Woody.
Just start the 15 some camera class.
I know there's no smoke without fire, and they're probably winding you up. I've turned around a couple of times, I've seen you getting in it with a couple of other players. So I just want to make, I know there's no smoke without fire, but okay, just a couple of times. Come on, you know. You know.
Johnny, there's a ball there.
Adam Leal with a word in Anton Bresler's ear there.
Tommy.
Possession-wise, far more even now, 51% to 49% in Worcester's favour. And territory-wise, a little more of the game has been spent down in Worcester's half now than in London Irish's. The score, 3 points apiece. Sekope Kepu is back up and running. What a signing he was from Waratahs. 34 years of age and will turn 35 at the beginning of next year, but over 100 caps for Australia.
Last couple have been fine. Let's keep it like that.
And one of the foremost proponents of the ball carrying front row forward. A man who can do it all. Scrummage, but also
Crouch!
Accelerate and break a line with real intent and produce some ridiculous offloads to boot. Rogerson picks up from the base of the scrum and finds himself running into Marco Mama, his opposite number. Mama with the tackle. London Irish create the platform. Meehan now back up on his feet, and the left boot will wedge in behind it and send the ball down towards the touchline. Melanie Nanai is underneath it though, and he feeds it back to Howe. Howe cuts back across. Ollie Hassel-Collins, having been outfoxed by Nanai, comes back, and Nanai just a foot to touch there as Hoo-ha and Nanai tried to smuggle away, and it just boils over between the two number 9s there.
Come on, guys. Everyone calm down.
A call of discipline from inside both squads. Ted Hill's mouth, the louder. London Irish with the line-out ball. Knott's been the main man that they've gone for in the line. Going to be Rogerson that they use on this occasion though.
Inside the 5.
Meehan waiting for that ball.
He's outside, lads, he's outside.
Puts it onto his right boot this time, and Tom Howe scampers across to collect it, and Howe looks to accelerate through the gap, trying to feed the pass across to Nanai. It was very nearly intercepted by Loader, but he just spilt it forwards. It's a game being played on fine edges at the moment. Nothing quite sticking for either team.
That's a compliment, isn't it? It is. He's complimenting.
Loader very nearly clutching that out of the sky.
That's what they're asking me, so.
Malali Nanai equally desperate to get his hands on that ball, and Worcester may well have had an overlap if he had held onto it. Ben Loader, just 22 years of age, just turned 22 as well on the 8th of the month. Gloucester Saints, Saracens and Quins all interested in the winger.
Bind!
His 4th season with London Irish at the academy, and Declan Kidney's spoken about the pride in their academy, but the need to nurture that talent and the need to ensure that that talent remains with the club.
No, come on, lads, let's go again.
First quarter of the new season complete for these two sides, and both on 3 points.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
On halfway, it's a good attacking position. Worcester managed to crush their way forwards. Does it look as though referee Adam Leal thinks that there's either side that can be penalised on that occasion?
Adam, that last scrum, both of them were folding on each other. Okay.
The word from the assistants.
Okay.
Both sides to blame.
Yeah, of course you can, just a little bit. If it crosses the line, I'll step in. It is rugby, come on.
Cross the line! Hips! Second! Second!
Crouch! Bind!
Free kick goes. This time against Kepu, taken quickly by Hoo-Ha. Can't find his man though, and Worcester again find themselves on the back foot. Nanai finds Howe. Howe manages to half get round Hassel Collins, who hauls him towards the touchline. Hoo-Ha back inside to Mama. Great tackle from Knott to knock him backwards, and Worcester find themselves repeatedly on the back foot at the moment, even with the ball in hand. Running from deep. Opportunity here for Ollie Morris. First start in the Premiership game. Lovely ball out wide. Now there's the chance to flick it back inside to Searle. Searle look for support. Hoo-Ha was there. He's back up on his feet, but he's got to find the supporting player. Waller was there, but Searle just didn't find the pass. Surely they've got to get it out wide now. Nick David, player who was involved in that move. But Worcester should have scored. Kitchener all slows down again. Hoo-Ha. Batley brought to ground. 4 metres shy of the line. Waller. Searle. Shipped out to Nanai. Nanai, little pitch kick. Out the back of the hand from him. Massive tackle from Hassel Collins that flattens Ollie Morris. Searle. And crossing. London Irish survive again, but how on earth the Worcester Warriors did not manage to finish that off is a huge question. Meehan takes it quickly. Howe scampers back, and Meehan dives in and tries to take him early. Paddy Jackson's there. Game opening up a little here. Nice pass out to Ollie Morris. That was high from Loader.
Not on the ball.
Worcester
Good contest.
coming up with the ball. Ted Hill flicks it back to Annette.
Off feet now.
Covering the ground.
Use it, please. Stay on, lads, Ethan.
Hoists it up in the air. Tom Homer waits, collects, and takes ball and man as Ollie Morris flattens him, but he still manages to offload. And this time, the penalty is given Worcester's way.
The ruck cleared past him, 15 has then played it off the ground. On the ground, can't play the ball.
Well, Billy Searle missed touch the last time he was in a similar position. No such error this time round, but he hasn't put it quite as close to the try line as perhaps he would have wanted. Still the question remains, how on earth they didn't finish off the move with Nick David and Billy Searle moments ago. Can they make amends? Kitchener collects in the line out. Ball smuggled back into the hands of Annette. Now they drive in and Ollie Morris is there as well. Sean O'Brien, so astute, waited and waited and picked the man who was coming through. And now that ball's got to come out. And London Irish have turned it over. And Ben Donnell has managed there somehow to convince the referee that he was in a legal position.
Worcester 7 went to ground.
And he perhaps should have been rolling away.
So Adam, at the last scrum,
Yeah.
White won, again fell forward and had to put his hand on the ground to gain his balance.
Yeah,
and then you free kick them for
O'Brien.
standing up as well.
Waiting
Guys, just move in, please.
predatorially
Listen.
and then coming in and
Guys, let's go, please. Yes, sir. Control your weight, don't stand up. We've just got to get these better lads, or we'll have to start making some real
Ben
decisions.
Donnell managing
Control the
to
weight.
get himself in the way, and London Irish foiling
Not too much
Worcester
weight
once
through, lads. I'll
more.
make sure they don't stand up.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Open. Salah. Hips. Seconds. Seconds. Go, guys. Balance.
Just over 10 minutes remaining until half-time. 3 points apiece.
Bind.
Darkness descends
Set.
in 6 ways. Seems to be ever earlier at the moment. I mean, it is ever earlier, but it just feels as though it's too early to be getting dark at 3:30 in the afternoon. Meeks.
On the ball, on the ball. Stay on, lads. Okay, lost now. Use it,
London
man.
Irish defending well. Onto that right boot goes Meehan and clears away up towards halfway. Worcester Warriors rebuild once more.
Edge of the line, please, Irish.
Well, it's the chances that have gone begging that will frustrate Alan Solomons at the moment as Bresler takes that Searle to Mama, who comes into the line and gets over that gain line. Hoo-ha scoops up and out the back of the hand from Batley. Morris knocked it forwards. Motor Matu manages to get it. Meehan, Paddy Jackson.
Advantage over.
And Loader flies down that wing. It doesn't look as though it necessarily is going to go into touch. And the pressure is on Billy Searle, who has to try and pass it.
Just a knock on.
The ball is knocked forward there.
Good call, Roy.
And Billy Searle has escaped.
Some of us legend here. It's brilliant.
Let's go here now, boys.
Brilliant.
Ollie Morris losing the ball. Great tackle from Curtis Rona in midfield. There, looking to pass it back inside. Comes off the hand of Ben Loader, who chased it so well. And it means Worcester have the put in.
Guys, I thought that last one was laid down. Great balance. That's what we need. Same on your balls as well, please.
Yes, sir. Stay up. Ben. Go. Open. Open. Let's go. Lots. Yes, let's go. Hips. Give me a backhand. Flicken.
Slow and patient.
Give me flicken. Give me bang.
Crouch.
Go.
Bind.
Let's go, boys.
Set.
Well, they've just been getting
Stand up.
some
Same
praise
mark.
from Adam
You two
Neal
are both
for
headed across that way,
how
so we
good
keep
the
our
last
shoulders
scrum
out and
was.
up.
And as is the want of the front fives, when they get a bit of praise, then they
Come on, boys. Let's go, Sharky.
revert to type and they have a reset.
Open. Let's go. Second. Let's go, Baz. Second.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Ball picked up by Mama. And he has the support of Vento, who manages to drive through that initial tackle from Paddy Jackson. Ball flicked back to Searle, and he clears away. And that one skip off the turf and out into touch. Loader looked disappointed.
Adam is
Might bounce
Dixie, can we
back
make a
in and
change,
stay in
please?
play.
Yeah, sure.
Can we have number 3, London Irish off, please? Number 3, London Irish.
Well, a change is to be made. Sekope Kepu
Substitution. Substitution for you.
makes way. Ollie Hoskins comes on to replace him.
Tactical. Thanks, mate. No worries. On the edge of the line, thanks. Good.
It is a tactical change. Before half-time, that ball clutched by Andre Mo. First season playing in the Premiership since moving across from Krasnodar. Played in Romania and Italy, most notably with Zebre. Meehan. Sean O'Brien can't keep possession. It was knocked forward by London Irish. And so Worcester will have the put-in. Well, speaking to Alan Solomons before this game, asked whether he felt that it would have the feel of a new season game. And so often in the new season we see unforced errors, knock-ons and a slight lack of cohesion between the sides. He felt that it wouldn't be normal because the pre-season hasn't been normal and we only have had a few weeks since the end of last season, and it feels just like one long elongated season. The squads have largely been together, and as a consequence you didn't expect it to be as rough around the edges as perhaps sometimes you get on the opening day of the season, and more of a middle ground to be found. Unfortunately, this is pretty representative of what rugby tends to look like on the opening day of the season quite often.
And me.
And
So
the misses kidney and kiss, it looks relatively similar as well from London Irish. That latest knock forward, another handling error. Only been 8 in total so far in the match, 5 from Worcester, 3 from London Irish.
I'll try and.
However,
Okay, no problem, mate.
the game has that feel of something slightly disjointed.
There you go.
Meters made, hugely in Worcester's favour, and
Yep.
there have been a couple of occasions they will know that they should have returned with more than they did. As it is, in fact, they return with nothing, really. It's only that penalty early on
There we go.
that represents them on the scoreboard.
Let's get set first then. Let's go. Bang. Open. Come on, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Keep it square, Nick. Keep your shoulder up.
Second. Develop. Sink.
Crouch. Bind.
Let's go.
Set.
2, 3, 1.
Hoo-ha. That's the win once more. Worcester win another penalty from the scrum. And Adam Leal
Please.
calls over Matt Rogerson to have a word.
Obviously, we're having some issues at the scrum. That's the 3rd time I've penalised your loose head now. If he continues to collapse the scrum and go across, he may leave the field. He's gone down twice, and on that one, he's gone across the scrum under pressure. Can you take that message, please?
Harry Elrington is the player who is being singled out. London Irish have just made a change in the front row with Ollie Hoskins coming on to replace Sekope Kepu. It's had no effect whatsoever in the set. They need to shore things up.
Line's yours, please, lads.
Alan Dell is the man who has come on to replace Elrington.
Line-out, please. Can have number 1 London Irish off, please.
One substitution.
Edge of the 22, this line out for Worcester, but still, London Irish can hang on to the fact that they are hanging on, in spite of being dominated in that set scrummage, and in spite of the fact that we've seen
Ben.
So Lundell does come on. It's a double change in the front row from Declan Kidney. That's very, very early to be making those changes. But as it is, Worcester from the line out. Rumble into the 22. Hoo-ha. Venter. And Ollie Morris in support. Hoo-ha has it again. Marco Mama only with a couple of options outside him. Milani Nanai was distant. Hoo-ha now goes into the path of Bresler.
Away tacklers,
Ted Hill calls his troops back. Hoo-ha goes to the skipper. And he carries to the edge of the 22 this time. Searle. Flat pass into Mama, just manages to scoop it under his arm and keep possession. Searle again, that defensive line up quickly. Morris bursts through, but at the back of the hand to Venter. Brilliant offload. Now back to Searle. Searle clutched to the ground by Knott. Worcester rampage forward. Ted Hill smashed backwards by London Irish's defensive line. Do they have extra players here? Nanai in support. Venter was there. Marlinet trying to take out the Jackler. London Irish have managed to turn it over. Brilliant work on the ground once again. And defensively, this has been one of the best performances I've seen from London Irish in a long time.
Stay on side, winger's not on, put him on. You're good.
Paddy Jackson finds touch. It's only taken play about 14 metres away from the London Irish line, but they were cut apart at times there by Worcester, but always found an extra player to make the last-ditch tackle. Brilliant play from Morris. Backhanded offload to Venter.
Okay,
Venter slipping it back inside. Not for the first time. Billy Searle, perhaps slow to look for a supporting player. On that occasion, I'm probably being harsh on him, but there is no doubt that opportunity that was created down the left-hand side midway through the half with Nick David should have been finished off.
Yeah. I thought you were fine. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with you on that strong. No.
Third turnover from London Irish in the match.
You okay, Matt? Oh, it's this thing, was it? Oh, okay, fair enough. Right, I'll give you time to get in. Yeah, you're right, there you go, yeah. Okay, everyone happy? Okay, time on, please, Laurie, thank you.
Another well-taken line out, Marco Mama. Hoo-ha. Looking for the inside pass. Tackles are made. Elrington was there, the ball was open, and it's turned over brilliantly on the floor by Alan Dell. Rogerson slaloms his way around two tacklers, including Scherner. Takes play up towards the edge of the 22. And London Irish once again find themselves
No, still under the feet.
going to the whirl and coming up with a full bucket. Ball half charged down though. David twists through one tackle out into the 22. Ball fired across. Hoo-ha. Searle. Ted Hill. Dummies back inside, up towards the edge of the 22. Nanai. Slip past to Venter. Venter is well tackled by Hassel Collins. Hoo-ha goes again. Ted Hill carries again.
Tackle!
Still working tirelessly, but just not having the finishing touch. Another massive hit in midfield. Brings the attack to a shuddering halt.
Tackler's laying all over it.
Worcester had the penalty coming, and it's kickable. Morris ducks back inside. Great play from him. Once again tries to get the offload away. Kept alive. Batley swings through one tackle. Brought down by Meeks. Hoo-ha. Hill, lovely pass, Waller bursts through, Waller up against Jackson, tries to keep it alive and slip it inside to Mama.
No advantage.
The defensive work once again exemplary.
Just outside 22.
And it's Ben Meehan who was there on that occasion to scoop the ball up for London Irish, but they will come back for the penalty. And I would imagine with 2.5 minutes to go until half time, the points will be pointed out here.
Shot at goal.
Good tackle from Jackson.
So shot at goal, so...
And a shot at goal is called.
Adam, take that as your 2 minutes.
Thanks. Sorry, cheers.
Well, I have to say, Billy Searle's afternoon gets no better. He has the only 3 points that Worcester have to their name so far, but that was a very simple chance, and he picks it wide. And add to that, his involvement in what was a gilt-edged opportunity to score a try, which was failed to be converted, and Billy Searle, well, wants to pick his game up, no doubt. Tom Homer collects that kick forward and then
guys, you've got to
goes
keep
up in
working
the
back,
air. Ball sent across to Milani Nanai. He looks to where the gap is. Paddy Jackson was covering. Jackson has Hassel Collins with him, puts a flat kick through towards the edge of the 22. Billy Searle waits for it, and players are now played onside by Paddy Jackson. Searle inside his 22 confined touch, and does so successfully, taking play up into London Irish territory.
Cheers, Roy.
Line-out ball, well taken by O'Brien. Nian Meeks, Homer, Hassel Collins was forwards. Such frustration there, just as the wingers started to get into full stride.
Adam, time is now yours.
Thanks, mate.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Replacing, you've seen the picture so far, we just need to keep them.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Need to get them better. Okay.
Tom Homer knows it was close. Frustration continues. Now,
Happy, let's go then.
how does the new London Irish front row fare? They've been forced into making a double substitution. They've been ceding penalties aplenty. Alan Dell backing down with Ollie Hoskins and Mota Matu.
Let's go, shots. Let's go.
Crouch! Bind!
Yeah, let's go.
Set! And hold. Let's go!
Ball flicked out, Venter waiting for it. Searle delays the pass, and once again, not entirely sure it was the right option. Venter to Kitchener to Nanai. Manages to get round the outside. Here's David, who swivels back inside. Good play from Nick David to get into the 22. Hoo-ha. Ted Hill strides forth. Hoo-ha has it again. Searle. Venter coming from deep. Here's Solly Morris. Tries to go round his man at the back of the hand to Annette. Back inside to Venter. Venter looking for support. Hoo-ha was there. Great covering tackle yet again from London Irish, but Hoo-ha has it. Slick hands from Batley to Mama. Worcester will feel for all their efforts. The least they deserve is a try before the interval. Waller. London Irish spread that defence across again well. Niall Annette waits. Extra players called in. Hoo-ha being held, so it's Shunnett who acts as scrum half. Hoo-ha now released. Can pop it up. Ethan Waller.
Great work, tackler.
A couple of marauding runs from him in this first half have come to naught. Hoo-ha waits once again. Ted Hill driven forwards by Annette. London Irish's discipline for the time being stands firm. Shunnett. Hoo-ha, delayed pass to Bresler. Great tackle to stop him in his tracks from Matu. Ted Hill, another massive hit, this time from Curtis Rona. They have been brutal hits. Worcester.
It's pinned under your own, man.
Keep the ball alive.
Stay on, lads.
Searle, Nanai dodges one, keeps it alive, trying to get it out the back of the hand for David. Great defensive holding there on Nanai. Homer was well positioned as well to prevent David being an immediate threat. Marco Mama. Surely Worcester can unlock the door. Annette. Hoskins was out to make the tackle and going backwards and ceding the penalty. It is another victory.
These two are completely
for London Irish's defence.
Sevens overrun it and then taken them out from the side.
So with the clock in the red, the ball will find its way into touch, and Worcester will go off the field of play here at Six Ways at half-time, all square with London Irish and wondering how on earth they aren't in front. Paddy Jackson puts it into the stands. Adam Leal blows the half-time whistle. A penalty from Searle and a penalty from Jackson. Adam Leal signals that they still need to take the line out because Paddy Jackson didn't tap it to himself before kicking it into touch, so bit of a naive error there.
Guys, make sure you stay on your line.
They do have the line out, London Irish need to keep the discipline. Ball
Some more.
collected well and the maul formed, and this time Meehan can bring an end to proceedings in the first 40. Referee wants a word in the ear of the scrum half as they make their way off the field of play. It is Worcester 3, London Irish 3, a penalty apiece for these two. It's been the Warriors who've dominated the opening half, but they just haven't been able to find a way to unlock the London Irish defence that has stood firm in the face of huge amounts of pressure. All square then at Six Ways, 3 points apiece.
Keep going.
London Irish making their way back up the tunnel, ready for the second half here at Six Ways. They are all square with the Worcester Warriors. What lies ahead defensively, they have been next to immaculate in that first half. They would want to create some more. In the end, in that first half, 3/4 of the possession went the way of their opponents. They need more ball. If they can get their hands on the ball more, then they need to do some damage with the times that they do have the ball in their hands. As for the Worcester Warriors, well, they need to start converting that possession and territory into points. Back out. Referee Adam Leal back out as well.
Adam, it's Dixie, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, Dixie. Cheers.
Woody.
Got you, Woody.
Put on to him in a minute, hold a minute.
We're just waiting, Paddy, sorry for the TV buzz.
Okay, fella, good luck.
Back up. And the game prepared to get back up and running as Paddy Jackson hoists the ball high into the changing sky up above Six Ways. It has been overcast and murky and getting darker and darker. Ben Loader went chasing up after that one, just couldn't quite get his hand around the ball to scoop it back towards Irish here. It goes forwards off their hands in the view of referee Adam Leal, and that means a scrummage at the start of the second half. And the scrum, one of the areas of the game that Worcester dominated in that first half, and they stick with their front row of Ethan Wallen, Arnett and Nick Shernett. Double change made by Declan Kidney before half-time. Sekope Kepu and Harry Elrington both being withdrawn from the game. Alan Dell and Ollie Hoskins on in their place, with Motu Matu still at hooker, and it's looking sturdier, and that is an untidy scrummage, and it is another penalty.
Wheeled under pressure, forward through both sides and wheeled under pressure.
Wheeling under pressure, the decision from Adam Leal. And so dominant has the Warriors' presence in that scrum been that
I think your side was fine.
the referee is looking for the errors to come from London Irish's side anyway. Alan Dell holds out a hand and says, don't worry,
Edge of the line, cheers.
we're going to be okay. However, at the moment, it's looking pretty dismal. Those scrum penalties heavily weighted in Worcester's favour, and a beautiful ball caught there by Kitchener and sent into the midfield where Marco Mama looked as though he temporarily lost possession but managed to get it back in. Hoo-ha, runners coming from deep. Batley bounces off one defender. Sean O'Brien sent to the deck, and he manages to wriggle free of the second. Hoo-ha looking to come to this near side, but Sean O'Brien steals the ball as the scrum half forgets to take it with him.
Still in, lads. No, you can't go in
London
there.
Irish have no one there to act as scrum half. Ben Meehan suddenly realises that he needs to be there. Matu fills in. Dell gets it down the line. Meeks delays the pass. Homer goes out wide to Hassel Collins. Second time he's really had the ball, but no room on this occasion for the winger to exploit. Hoskins.
Tackle, Worcester!
He's repelled. Worcester had remarkably little defensive work to do in the first half. As a consequence, I want to tick the boxes as far as the tackling count is concerned. When London Irish have the ball in hand, they kick it away though from Jackson, and Rulani Nanai comes up with it and swivels well, and out the back of the hand, great release there. Ted Hill is on his shoulder. Nick David was there as well. Hoo-ha goes to that short side. Nanai's there again. Hoo-ha back across. Worcester desperately looking for that first try. Billy Searle. He's tackled high. According to the referee, Anton Bresler bursts through. A little bit of a hole there. London Irish taking their eye off the ball for a second.
Come on, he's getting up and moving away. We're coming back for the penalty over here.
In line with me, Adam.
Andre
He's
Mahu,
facing the other way and doing his
player
best
who
to
is
get back on.
penalised
Yep,
for the
you're
high
right.
tackle.
Perfect.
High tackle number
Always
5.
think a lock up against a diminutive player such as Billy Searle is always a tricky one to adjudicate. Decision will be a shot at goal. And Billy Searle, who's won from 2 so far, should put Worcester back into the lead. Billy Searle nudges the ball over the crossbar, and Worcester back in front. They will feel that their advantage should be greater, but at least they're not behind. Some lovely work from Milani Nanai, a great offload from him to Ted Hill. So Worcester lead 6 points to 3. Kitchener underneath this one.
No hands now, it's a ruck form. It's a ruck form, so you can't put your hands in.
Ball. And it had come loose, but
Still a ruck, you can't go back.
using hands on the deck when they shouldn't have been there, London Irish, and as a consequence, Worcester pick up the penalty. And a penalty in a decent position as well, because London Irish,
It's not out.
although questioning the referee's decision through George, not there. And once again allowed Worcester what is a very simple position to give themselves an attacking platform from inside their own half. Billy Searle's touch takes play up towards halfway.
Line's yours.
David Andrew. Let's go, David,
Well taken by Kitchener, who's being used with increasing frequency, and Ollie Morris, great line of running. Morris looking for the support. Searle was there once again. Worcester not giving the pass when it is there. So many opportunities passed up by the home team in this
Still
game.
got the scrum advantage.
As you can probably tell by my frustration,
He can
it
compete.
is becoming frustrating to watch because the opportunities are there. They are creating the chances. But that final pass is not being given. And it's those split seconds that you have to make those decisions
That was my view.
that need to be sharpened, certainly moving ahead this season. Great line of running there from Ollie Morris, bursting through, and the pass needed to go to Searle
It's time off, Adam.
before the tackle came. He was screaming his support there. Pass just needed to go. And then the ball went forwards from the tackle. And London Irish have a
Sorry,
chance
Adam,
to clear their
Dixie, can we
lines
make
once
a
more.
change, please?
Okay, hold please. Time off.
Can I have 6 Irish, please? Off.
London Irish 6, substitution.
Speed kills. Yeah, speed kills.
So another change to be made. Been a decent performance we've seen from Ben Donnell. Blair Cowan, a very experienced head to come on.
Open. Let's go, Shocky boy. Seconds. Let's go. Sink.
Crouch!
Grab. Height.
Bind!
Yes, down.
Set!
Nice pass down the line, and great line of running here. Great offload as well from Rona. Here's Loader, he's got players supporting inside. Meeks couldn't quite skip it up, and then Norca Jackson, and the ball goes forwards, and Searle has it, but as soon as he kicks that ball away...
Guys, we're coming back. I'll do the same for you. He's kicked it out under pressure.
The advantage
Going back to the
goes,
slot.
but the referee's decision is that he was kicking it away under pressure. And I think Billy Searle, once again, has dodged a bullet.
No, it's not always advantage over. It was under loads of pressure. I'll make sure I do the same for you, Paddy. All right.
Paddy Jackson questioning it. Referee saying that he would have been consistent in this situation because Searle was under a lot of pressure. Loader just unable to find that pass back inside of Meeks.
Second. Sink.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Now wait. Use it.
Nice pass. Searle down the line. Nanai taking it at pace and now managing to get it out wide to Tom Howe, who's had precious few chances to run at pace in this game so far. Ted Hill, lovely offload from him. He certainly does know when to give the pass. Batley fired into Waller. He had a couple of promising breaks in that first half. Hoo-ha comes back towards that near side and Nanai flinging it out wide. London Irish's defence gets across to cover well. Nice little pop pass to keep it short to Schoenert, but it's knocked forward in the tackle, and now Loader has it. Got Jackson out wide. Loader manages to skip through one tackle, the tackle of Morris that was, before being brought to ground just shy of halfway. Meehan flicked out to Rogerson. Rogerson to Jackson. Jackson has Meeks. Meeks with Homer, misses out Homer, flicks to Rona. Rona to Hassel Collins. Hassel Collins cutting swathes back inside again, up to the 10-metre line. Jackson waits. That ball untidy. Jackson picks it up again and then looks for the gap behind Searle. Searle gets across to Coverwell. Now out of the 22. Paddy Jackson awaiting the ball and receives it. Hoists the Gary Owen. That ball collected well and little dancing run there. Nick David on his own 10-metre line. Moto Matuu with the tackle.
Guys, leave it now. This guy's got to get out. There it is.
Worcester waiting for that ball.
Stay on, use it, please, Francois.
Get ready to escort. Get ready to escort. Stop.
Launched up in the air. Loader, and he's knocked it forwards. And Bresler picks it up, and Worcester with some good loose ball here. Kitchener, Hoo-ha waiting for it. The advantage is over. Nanai trying to chip it through. Hassel Collins was being played there by Nanai, surely, as he chased after the ball. Goes to ground, having managed to win it back for London Irish.
On white, so penalty advantage.
London Irish have the advantage coming their way.
Penalty advantage.
Blair Cowan with his first carry. And
I've got the mark, Adam.
looked quite high as well. Another advantage here. So Worcester need to keep that discipline. Meehan fired over the top.
Played over, that's forward, we're coming back. You've got two options. You've got one here for not rolling away, or one down there for a pullback. Here.
We're going to take the second penalty. The first penalty that was awarded their way was due to the pullback on Hassel Collins. The second for a high tackle on Blair Cowan. This is the pullback.
Good call, David.
Hi Adam, can we make some changes, please? Can I have
you just don't know what would have happened if he hadn't
13
been
blue,
touched
please. 4
in that
and 13
situation.
blue.
Number 4 sub.
Perhaps could have been away.
4 and 13.
A double substitution coming here for the Worcester Warriors.
Ready, please, Adam.
Matt Kvesic coming on, along with Ashley Beck, Anton Bresler and Ollie Morris, the players making way.
Guys, we're making subs.
Okay, fella, they're off now.
All good? Thank you. Cheers, guys. Okay, Laurie, time on, please.
Yes! Yes!
Line out ball back by Blair Cowan, taken, and that delayed pass. Not a move that has worked particularly well there for the Exiles. Ben Meehan absolutely munched at his own 10-metre line. Blair Cowan
Still in,
sets
don't
the
go
ball.
in there.
Meehan making rather
Ball's out.
lethargic
Fine.
progress towards play once again. Ollie Hoskins charged backwards, and London Irish have made about 20 metres deficit on where they started from here. Sean O'Brien still going backwards. They're up to the halfway line. Another big hit comes in on Mo. Worcester looking to turn that over. Unable to do so. Jackson, Meeks. Ducking back inside. Good run there from Meeks. He's up over halfway.
It's trapped in by your own man.
Meehan. Jackson, fast hands. Here comes Tom Homer. And he's bundled into touch. And the Warriors will have the line out.
Adam, can we have a change, please? Can we have number 9 London Irish off, please?
Ben, sub, yep. Time off, please, Ollie.
Ben Meehan makes his way off. Gareth Simpson, in his second season with the London Irish Academy, is the man who comes on.
It'll be 5-man.
Meeks and Rona deep in conversation in midfield. They've had very little attacking ball to deal with so far.
5-man.
We'll be hoping
Time on,
that
please, Ollie.
they can perhaps get an opportunity from different positions.
Moore is inside the 5 and then
Nick Phibbs, I do beg his pardon, is the player, of course, who's come on for London Irish. Replacement for Meehan. No change for the Warriors at 9 at the moment. Flat pass in midfield to Venter. Fires out to Searle. Searle tries to chip over the top. That one very nearly scooped up by Nick David, but they'll come back for a penalty.
side entry.
Penalties given against Ollie Hoskins for side entry there.
Adam, can we have a change, please? Can we have 2 London Irish off, please?
Yeah, number 2. Where's he gone?
Augustine Creevy comes on an
Number
entirely
2,
new front row in the end for London Irish. For the last 25 minutes of the game, Creevy replacing Matu. And Matu will leave 6 ways this time.
Is it 7-man, lads, yeah?
Having played his full quota of minutes
Time on.
until being substituted, rather than being red carded as he was the last time he was here. Ted Hill, the player, receiving that ball in the line-out. Good ball formed by the Worcester Warriors. Into the 22, Kvesic looks to drive Mo, who's holding on to Waller grimly for dear life, and Irish have turned it over. Great work from the Moldovan lock.
Everyone up, yeah, nice one, pressure off.
Adam, Miss Dixie, can we have a change, please?
Yeah.
Number 2 Worcester off, please.
No, you're being substitute, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Let's go, boys.
Off the mark. Yeah, no problem. Let's try and keep it there.
Notice time comes for the Worcester Warriors. Beck Cutting coming on to replace Niall Annette for the last 25 minutes in the front row for Worcester.
I understand, yeah. Come on. You're both fresh in, so.
Let's go, guys.
Let's keep it there then. Up we come, lads. Just to the left, please. The mark's just here, so if you can come up a bit as well. Thank you. Just to the, yeah. Yeah, it's fine, lads.
Yes, Ollie. I got you. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Second. Fucking lovely shocky boy.
Crouch.
Here we go. Right.
Bind.
Free kick this time is given against the Worcester Warriors. That's the first time they've ceded anything at a set scrummage. Augustine Creevy exchanges a few words with Nick Shernett. The chat goes on, but it is a free kick to Irish. It's inside the 22, so Paddy Jackson can clear this into touch. Touch found, and it's a really good touch. Jackson taking play up to inside. Worcester's own half here, back cutting straight into line-out duty. And they've been good in the line-out so far, the Worcester Warriors. Don't want that to fall apart just with a new hooker, and it doesn't. Kitchener picked out again. Searle takes it off the top of the line and tries to bring Nick David into play. Didn't really get hold of that one in the way he would have wanted, though, and Tom Homer is underneath it. He fires the ball forward and then plays his own team on sides. Searle with the return kick. Jackson and Loader, the players, waiting for it, and it's Loader who watches it skip across the turf and then gets it onto his left foot before hoisting it up in the air. This one collected by Tom Howe, who fires it back across to Nenai. Nenai comes across once again, and ball eventually taking the ground. David unable to get around the London Irish defensive line. It's Milani Nenai who acts as the scrum half. Huha wandering back.
Tackle now!
Ball fires out the back, and he needs to go now to Searle. And Tom Homer waits right on the edge of his 22. Homer with the ball in hand. He's got Jackson alongside him. Goes to Jackson. Jackson tries to go around Hill. Fires it out wide. Hassel-Collins ducking back inside. Lovely little line of running there from Ollie Hassel-Collins to take play up to the 10-metre line. Phipps, fast hands to Homer. Good tackle from Worcester. Phipps comes in again. Moe launches his frame into that Worcester defensive line. London Irish starting to build with confidence. They need to do something with the ball this time. Rogerson is brought to ground. And Worcester,
he's out now,
managing to slow that down. Phipps towards Nottingham with the interchange. Jackson in to play scrum half. Hoskins, Meeks managed to juggle that ball and then bring it back in, but Shonup was there to bring him down. Kind of burst through, goes Curtis Rona. He was looking for support. London Irish still with the ball in hand. Homer had Blair Cowan outside him. Defensive tackle comes in from Waller. Phipps again. Hoskins.
Hands now, leave it! Go!
Phipps waits. Moe taken to ground. Jackson flicked back inside. Loader tackled well. Defensively, both sides really have put in the hits this afternoon, and it's reflected on the scoreboard as we have no tries so far. Into the final quarter almost as Creevy looks to burst through the middle. Phipps, big gap, open up there. He's got great acceleration, looking for support. That ball very nearly not finding its way to Blair Cowan, but he does manage to come up with it. Phipps again. Moe on the edge of the 22. London Irish starting to build some momentum, and it was Nick Phipps who spotted the gap and accelerated through it. Creevy. Meeks delays that pass. Rona.
No effect.
Phipps again. Rogerson tackled well. Phipps. Creevy's the one calling for it. Ducks back inside. Big Argentine hooker. Ball is slow though. Phipps was thinking about going for that. In the end he doesn't. They wrestle the ball forwards. Phipps. Moe again. Playing an ever more important role on the carry in this second half, the Moldovan. Hoskins waited. O'Brien's there with Creevy. Hoskins gets over it. Phipps comes again. Short to not. Worcester's defensive line still holding firm. Meeks. Rona trying to muscle his way through. Blair Cowan. Another good carry that sucks in 3 defenders. Phipps. Creevy. Couldn't scoop it out. Numbers this time. Jackson. Here's Meeks. Meeks gets it into Loader. Loader bursts towards the line. Loader still going. Held up just short. Fantastic last-ditch tackle. London Irish have the advantage. Can they get over though? Phipps buries himself, burrowing, and scores. London Irish have the opening try of the game. They move into the lead for the first time.
14's in the wrong side. You were fine.
As the game enters its final quarter, it's the replacement scrum half, Nick Phipps, who somehow found a way under. Reaching out for the line, making the score.
Nice, okay. No worries. Just a timing issue, was it, yeah?
His first try in the Premiership for London Irish. What a time to come up with it. 19 minutes remaining. And London Irish into the lead. Conversion still to come.
Adam, we will be making blue changes before the restart.
Okay.
Paddy Jackson, in just a few moments. Steady himself. And then add the extras.
Okay, fella, I could do with 1,
Paddy
3 and
Jackson,
6, please.
2
1,
kicks
3
from
and
2
6.
from him so far. Nick Phipps with the try. London Irish with the lead by 4.
Just wait till I give you the nod, fella.
Six is coming off around the back.
Where's number 6?
To your right, mate. Look to your right.
Okay, that's the man in goal, is it?
The one's walking past.
Yeah, time off, please.
Waller and Batley
We've got 1
both
and
make
6. I
way.
want to know where number 3 is.
Merrick,
He's in goal.
Palfreman
Okay,
and
happy
Black,
days,
the players
Adam.
coming
I'll fetch
on.
him.
And
Thanks, Bixie. Good work.
for Callum
Time off,
Black,
please.
a big moment. His 100th appearance for the Worcester Warriors. Made 100 appearances over in Ireland as well. That ball is spilt forward the second time that Loader has lost the ball in the air, and it's the sort of moment that you just need to get right. What a career for Callum Black.
Guys, we've got to keep the gap, okay? So when the first replacement came
100
on,
appearances,
like that.
and he's had to
They will
wait
stay
for
on
it.
their mark.
Expected to play that 100th match first of all against Sale on the regulation final day of the season. Then that match was delayed and then cancelled again. So third time lucky for Callum Black to pick up that 100th appearance for the club.
Crouch! Height! Bind! Just can't get his bind here. It's the first time we've scrummaged on this side, so let's keep quick reset, please. Just don't push him back a little bit. Let him get his bind, okay? Don't stand up for me, please, Alan.
Let's go, come on. Here we are, height.
Crouch!
Height. Down. Suit.
Bind. Set. And hold there.
Good nudge from London Irish, who are looking stronger in the set, but the ball does come back. Searle manages to get to David. Venter slicing across there as well. Ball now shipped to Searle once again. Keeps it alive, lovely out the back of the hands. Nanai gets it to Howe, goes for the corner! And the Warriors have their first try of the season. George Merrick with a majestic offload just moments after coming on.
Yeah, David, just double check the grounding, will you?
Nanai feeding Howe. Phipps looking to get the tackle and drag the tackler into touch before the grounding. Or was he in control of the ball with the downward pressure? The ball is out of control there.
Just going to freeze it when the ball hits the ground to make sure the hand is on it.
It's going to be a big call here from David Grassoff.
Wait, please, they're just checking the grounding.
It's give me one more angle, please, Adam. Just
We'll
hold
be
on.
looking for another angle here because it's inconclusive so far.
Look to freeze the ball as it hits the line. Adam,
Yep.
you may award the try.
Okay, try's good, lads. Fine. No, it's fine.
Try is given. And Tom Howe opens his account for the new season. Just the one try last season. This one just moving Worcester into the lead. Tough conversion, this one for Searle. And he hasn't managed to add the extra, so just 1 point between them, moving into the final 14 minutes. Searle and Merrick out the back of the hand. Nanai setting it across to Howe. Great play from Merrick. One season at Claremont before coming across, and the try scored from Tom Howe. All of that stems
Still
from the
trapped in
restart.
there. Okay, now
And
use
the
it.
failure of London Irish to collect the ball well, and there have been a couple of bad spills from Ben Loader. Hoo-ha, lifted up in the air. Tom Homer takes it well. David makes the tackle. Irish up on halfway. Phipps. Jackson. There was the dummy.
Is that high there? Was it extra on the shoulder? David, just have a look
From
at that
Merrick
tackle
will
just
be
to make sure it feels
looked at
right.
again.
Just going to check. Okay,
That was
advantage,
falling.
same as earlier, yeah.
Up and under, hoisted by Phipps. Searle tries to come through and collect it, and
No advantage, coming back, your penalty.
succeeds in
19.
doing so.
Line
So the
with me.
penalty they will come back
line
for
with me.
is London Irish's.
There you are. Same as the first one down there earlier, just around the neck, number 19.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Off it now.
Cheers, David.
Jackson
Use
finds
the
touch.
22, please, guys.
Numbers.
22's your mark, lads. That's fine, Roy. Outside if you win it, Worcester.
Ball is spoiled, and Hoo-ha manages to win it back. First line out taken against the head there, and it's a big one right on the edge of the
That's a tackle now.
Worcester 22.
Outside.
Hoo-ha. Towering kick up in the air, Loader misjudged it, and the ball comes back. Worcester's side, Kvesic,
Advantage over.
Venter. The advantage is over. Venter looking for support, looks for the players, rushing in. Ted Hill, Searle, big gap in behind Loader this time.
Please.
Striding after it goes Marco Mama. Ball, will it run over the dead ball line? The answer's no, and Loader has work to do, and he manages to do it incredibly well. There's some great
use it,
play
please.
from Ben Loader there.
No, it's not out. It's not out, Callum, no.
And Phipps
No, it's not. It's under the foot. Touch.
clears the ball away.
It's London Irish ball.
And touch. And there was a touch on the way
Touch
through as
flag.
well, so
London
London
Irish
Irish
ball.
will have the line out.
Just on the edge, please, Callum. Cheers.
Very
Adams,
nearly in
Dixie,
the
can we have
last
a change,
10
please?
minutes. Just one
off,
point
please.
between these two
15
sides.
London Irish, please.
I think, is he the guy that's down? No.
I don't know.
Number 15, sub.
Tom Parton comes on to replace Tom Homer.
And number 5 Irish, please.
Oh, he's coming now.
And Andre Mahu as well is replaced by Chunya Munga.
Okay, lads, we're good to go.
An impressive performance
line's yours,
from
please.
Andre Mahu,
How many's going to be, lads?
Moldovan international,
7, all in. All in, on the edge of the line, please.
29 years of age, standing at 2 metres and 6 centimetres
Yeah.
tall and weighing in
They're
at
on the edge, so
122
you'll-
kilos. He
Come
is
on, please.
Stay blue, stay
a rather large presence. in the second row, and he carried the ball with increasingly important purpose in this second half and was involved in the move that eventually led to Phipps going over. Hassel-Collins looks to try and go round the outside. Tom Howe, try scorer for Worcester, is equal to him on this occasion. That ball spent forwards by London Irish, which they can ill afford to do. Worcester with the put-in, just past halfway.
Crouch. Find your spaces. Bind. Set. Stay there, stay there. Stay on. Balls away.
Fired away. Untidy in midfield, Searle has to fall on it. Paddy Jackson tried to get through on it, and London Irish will get the penalty there.
You're in front of the player and you've denied him getting over the ball. Offside, clearly offside.
Offside. And Worcester were just a mess. The
23
handling was a
came in
mess.
for the wrong side and denied the jackal.
They
Getting
landed
on the ball.
themselves in problems.
Shot at
And
goal.
a shot at goal is what is called for, trailing by 1.
You're stood in the wrong side,
Jackson
and
will have
he's just going
a
for the
chance here to put London Irish back into the lead, and he is thus far 2 from 2.
Yeah, I'll try and work on it for you.
This is the longest attempt at goal he's had. The 6-way is
It
not a
works in the
massive
end, but
ground.
We'll make sure it gets a little bit
Conditions seem pretty decent for kicking. It's relatively still out there, not much of a breeze. Going to lose momentum and drop just short. Clearance kick was somewhat rushed, and as a consequences, the line out for London
He had a long way
Irish
to run. He was under the post.
just outside the 22.
Just on your front line.
London Irish desperate for the ball here, and they saw their last line out taken
Gap, thank you.
underneath the kick. Needed to keep it lower and flatter. Still, they have a chance here, looking to spoil. Blair Cowan was the player who took that well. Meeks. Rogerson, just outside the 22. Phipps goes again. Blair Cowan collects it the second time of asking.
No, don't go in against. Ruck's already formed.
Curtis Rona hasn't had too much time on the ball in this match so far. Had to do a lot of defending. Augustine Creevy has certainly allowed for Irish to get more on the front foot since he's been on. Tom Parton up to the edge of the 22. Phipps and Blair Cowan juggled the last one. Can't hold this one. Shake of the head from the long-locked Scottish flanker.
I just need you to sort it out with each other, just to find your space.
You've got to hope that they will get their hands back on that ball.
Guys, come in, please. Thank you. Just to the left, just to the left. Find your space. Come in then. Just to the left of him, please. That's great. Now keep your heads in your spaces. Don't move off your marks. Yeah, we got the gap. He's going to come out a little bit. That's great. Come on, guys. Stand on the mark. Time off, please, Laurie. Right,
Time goes
stand
off
there.
again.
Don't move.
The
You stand
referee
there.
looks to try and
Don't
get
move.
the
Next person who moves, get him free
sorted
kick.
once more.
Okay? Good. No, that's fine. It's on the same mark.
Second!
Crouch. Bind. Set. Up we come. Time off, please.
Time comes off again.
Stop.
Cutting's
This-
head
no,
stayed
listen
up.
to me. You two come here. You two come here now.
Creevy and Cutting to have a
We've
chat
had
with the
enough
ref.
problems today at the scrum without you two coming on and having a head off, okay? You need to keep your heads off each other, stay in your gaps. If you two keep doing that, I'm going to get rid of both of you and we'll get the other two back on. Is that understood? Let's go. Stop messing around. Let's go. Mark, keep the time off Laurie until I call coach, please. Crouch. Bind. Set. Now hold.
It's time to get it right. The ball comes back very fast through the legs of Mummer, who manages to recover, as do Worcester. It's a good line of running taken by Ashley Beck that gets them out of some real problems. And now they just need to run through the drills, hold on to possession, use their possession well. Hoo-ha. Up in the air. And Loader has looked really suspect under that high ball, but on this occasion he collects it well. And London Irish have the ball back in their possession. Helped along the line. Jackson, Hassel Collins. Numbers out wide here. Meeks on the far side. Looking for support. Phipps flicked back in to the mixer. Alan Dell on the 10-metre line. And want a bit more territory if they're going to carve out an opportunity for Paddy Jackson to go for a drop goal. Creevy.
No hands now, we'll still leave it.
Phipps wanting it back on the quick return, floated over the top, one bounce into Meeks. Meeks making good ground up to the edge of the 22 and into the 22. Phipps now has it. They are now in drop goal range if they get secure enough platform for Paddy Jackson. But they will need that platform. Creevy looks to drive it on the middle. Phipps comes once more. Jackson waits. Sean O'Brien. At the moment, a drop goal doesn't look as though it's going to be an option. Worcester up very fast. Merrick to make the tackle on Creevy.
Pushing it into him.
Here's Jackson again. Rona. Bear Cowan holds on to possession this time. Cowan just shy of that 22 once again. Goes down, gets back up and drives into the 22.
Worcester leave it! He's left it now.
Looking for that penalty. Not coming. Alan Den. Phipps. Creevy. Throwing up to make the tackles again comes Merrick.
Let go, please.
Phipps will go again. Jackson. Not looking keen for a drop goal at the moment as Meeks collects that ball. Jackson, Hassel Collins running out of room, certainly soaking up the players, and O'Brien spills forwards, or did he mean to regather it? Looks as though he did lose it, and it has been signalled as a knock forward. Three minutes to go.
Yeah, of course you can. Time off.
There have been a couple of spills, one from Sean O'Brien, one from Blair Cowan, in very similar positions.
Space for it to play. I wouldn't do that to you down there either.
Given away possession by London Irish just as they were building up ahead of steam, and they've been so much better in this second half. Certainly as far as attacking intent is concerned, but they haven't managed to finish off their chances. And Alan Solomons, well, he will be certainly nervously pacing at the moment because Worcester have still got another 3 minutes to survive here. They lead by one. First try came in this second half. Nick Phipps burrowing over to give London Irish a lead. Merrick then getting it to Nanai, who in turn set up Howe, and he managed to get downward pressure in the corner. And that put Worcester up by one. The conversion was missed, and they continue to lead with that precarious advantage heading into the final 3 minutes.
Crouch! Bind! Here we go, boys! Set and hold! Stay on!
Ball picked up by Marco Mama. Cowan joins in with Jackson to make the tackle.
No. Well left.
Ball's back to Searle. Launches it downfield. Really well collected there by Tom Parton. Parton comes flying across the field of play, and he was half caught there, and it was a vital touch. Up the middle, Creevy. Jackson knows that they need territory here. Somehow needs to find a gap. Phipps just runs into trouble. In fact, runs into hoo-ha. And the penalty is won. Callum Black goes in to congratulate hoo-ha on the ground. Marco Mama's there as well. And it's Mama who executed the turnover.
Just under 2, Adam.
Okay, no worries.
Just under 2 minutes to go. Ted Hill and Billy Searle looking at their options. A penalty wouldn't see them through to full time, so they're going to nudge to the corner. And he has put it out for the second time in this match over the dead ball line.
Thank you. Let's go again, let's go. Last 2 have worked, let's keep it like that.
2 occasions from Billy Searle that he's missed that particular kick.
Okay.
Not been particularly a match to remember for the Worcester 10, but if they come away with the win,
he's complaining of dizziness, so the doctor needs
he
to come
won't
and see him.
complain. Marco Mama currently complaining of dizziness. As a consequence, that means the doctor needs to come on and see to him straight away. The clock will be stopped. Worcester with 1 minute and 2 seconds to hold on, but London Irish have possession.
Last scrum, great. Well, yeah, no one was messing around.
The most important for the game.
I understand.
Frustrating
not
afternoon
my
for
first
Tom
game,
Hover
Keep an eye on
and the
it.
Exiles, should they go down.
We're just getting us on.
There will at least be a losing bonus for the visitors. Declan Kidney will know they've had their chances, and he'll be disappointed, I should imagine, with some of the game management up the other end of the field in the last 10 minutes. And
that's up to the doctor to make the decision.
2 of his most experienced back row players, Blair Cowan and Sean O'Brien, spilling the ball forwards at this time of year, which will be an unusual time of year for a season to be starting for all players, but at this time of year, as the night descends, the ball becomes greasier, and we've seen that with the amount of handling errors from both sides in this match so far. 13 from Irish, 8 from Worcester.
Okay, that's it. No, yeah. Too much gap? Okay, you can stay there then. Let's leave it like that.
Let's go, guys. Let's fucking second. Second. Come on. Let's go.
Crouch.
Sit. Height.
Bind. Set. And hold here. Keep it up.
And now. Build.
That's stationary. Use it.
Phipps to Loader. Rona. Meeks on the loop. Meeks cuts back inside. They're over halfway. Irish eat 10 metres there. Now they need to keep that momentum going forwards. They need to try and create something. Jackson, Hoskins to Hassel Collins. Hassel Collins wriggles forward, but he's just up to the gain line. Phipps will come to the near side again. Sean O'Brien. Hoskins. Worcester's defence knows it just needs to stand firm. Phipps gets it across to Rogerson. The skipper would want that 50th appearance to be crowned with victory. Lovely ball out to Hassel Collins. Hassel Collins ducks back inside. Another 10 metres up the pitch go London Irish. Phipps quickly recycled ball. Worcester fighting for it on the ground. Creevy chips to Jackson. Jackson to Meeks again. Meeks decides to chip through. David will look to force it out into touch. And Sean O'Brien just cannot understand what Meeks was doing. Apologies for those of you who heard the full verbal onslaught there from one of London Irish's most experienced players, but he just can't believe that they have kicked the ball out of hand. Callum Black gets the congratulation on the day he picked up his 100th appearance for the Worcester Warriors. A 50th one for Matt Rogerson. Meeks kicking the ball away, and as a consequence Worcester able to put the ball out into touch. In the end, it is 1 point that separates the two sides. A try from Tom Howe that came in reply to one from Nick Phipps in a game that had, well, plenty of ring rustiness about it. It looked like a typical season's opener from both sides. In the end, it is the Worcester Warriors who've come out on top. They win 11 points to 10. 3, 1, 2, 5.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Aaron.
Okay, guys. Okay. Stand by. And cue when you're ready.
Well, Matt, I should imagine a disappointing feeling at the end of that game because it slipped away.
Yeah, 100%. I think I said to the lads there at the end, we obviously set high expectations for how we wanted to start the year. I think the first game is really important to build momentum for everything that's to come, really. So yeah, extremely disappointing. I think a very tight game, and to lose in general is tough, but by 1 point, when we feel we could have probably had more scores and capitalised on more opportunities, very disheartening, yeah.
Disheartening, however, in the 9 games you had on the return at the resumption after the lockdown, form was very disappointing there with the exception of the game down in Exeter.
Yeah.
Here, you certainly, the defensive performance must be something you're very, very proud of.
Yeah, we are. I think it was very resolute in the first half. We obviously weathered a lot of pressure, and I think there was a lot to take from that in terms of positives. But yeah, obviously those 9 games, although they weren't the results we wanted, we sort of used those as building blocks towards the beginning of this season. We knew this was a season where we'd really have to perform and turn it on because there's so much to win and so much to lose. So, like I say, there were big building blocks those games, and I think that started to show through tonight in areas.
So is there definitely a feeling, in spite of the disappointment that you're going to feel at the moment, that there's progress being made?
I would say there is progress, yeah. I would say 100%, and you can see from areas of that game there that there was, especially defensively, some really big positives we can take. And sometimes in attack, when we were keeping ball in hand and we were keeping the ball secure, we looked dangerous. So it's just working on some of those small inaccuracies we had, and I feel yeah we can get better from here.
You've now got back-to-back matches at home, at your new home. What's the feeling about that?
I think for us, we want to make Brentford a fortress for us. I think as any home team does. I think it's a new start and a new chapter of this club. We're incredibly excited as a playing group to be back in London. So I think going forward, the home games have got to be absolute must-wins. It has to be very difficult for teams to come and play there and beat us there. So yeah, that's the aim.
And for you, a 50th appearance today, that must have been a very proud moment.
It was very proud, yeah. I mean, I'm going into my 3rd season at the club now, so I mean, to do that in 2 seasons was more than I could have dreamt of when I joined. Incredibly proud to reach that milestone, but yeah, there's a lot more I want to achieve with this club, and that's where I'll be looking.
Well, all the best next week, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks
a lot. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you. We're getting Ted. You're right.
How are you? Okay.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good.
Stand by and cue when you're ready.
Well, Ted, many congratulations for the win. But how do you feel after that? Because I imagine that there's some frustrations as well.
Yeah, there is massive frustration. I think
we knew Irish were a really tough side. We knew they were a gritty team, and they play with passion. So we knew that was going to be the case. We knew for us it was about breaking down the barrier, breaking down their defence. And I thought we were really good and physical in the first half, but we just weren't clinical enough. We're really happy with the win. It was a big game for us, and we're ultimately pleased with the W.
In the change room at half-time, you came off the pitch 3-3, and yet you'd had, I think, nearly 75% of possession.
Yeah.
You'd had a lot of the territory, and you'd had chances that you hadn't finished off.
Yeah.
How do you feel in that situation? And was there just a be patient, this is going to come?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think for me, and I know for the boys, we knew we had these guys in the first half. We knew if we just kept the pressure on them, as I said, they're going to break down. And I think the reason maybe that didn't happen as much as we wanted in the second half was just due to our being clinical and not holding on to the ball as well as we'd like.
But looking at that second half, you went behind, and so it must be immensely pleasing that the character you showed to immediately come back up the other end and score what proved to be the crucial try.
Yeah, definitely. This, as I said before, this game is big for us. It's big for us as a club, and big for us as a team. So it's we're really happy with that to come from behind and get that try to go ahead. So we're really pleased with that.
Looking ahead, next game away at Bristol, a pretty tough test that will certainly be for you. How do you feel you're measuring up at the moment, though, for a test like that?
Look, we're starting out at the start of the season. I know it seems just to have been folded all into one, but we're starting up again, and we're pleased with where we're at. But for us, it's just about being we want urgency, but we don't want to be frantic. So to win next week, we're going to have the same passion we had tonight, but be more clinical and a little bit less frantic on the ball.
Thanks a lot for your time. All the best next week.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
You're right, 14's in the... You're right, 14's in the wrong side, you were fine. Your jacket was fine, 14's attack. Advantage! there. You're right, 14's in the wrong side, you were fine. Your jacket was fine, 14's attack. Now, leave it! Advantage!
Try.
Try there.
Alan, full-time whistle. I was watching some pictures of you. You were pacing around rather nervously. You must have been very relieved when that full-time whistle went, and the win. That's the most important thing.
I would agree with you. I was relieved, and it was great to get the win because that's what it's about. I felt in the first half we had, I counted at least 8 opportunities and didn't take any of them. So we spoke at half-time about keeping the pressure on, but it was a tough second half as well. What really pleased me is the back 20 minutes, always a big part of a game. I thought the mental resilience of the players was really, really good to hang in right through and to hold that lead until the end of the game. So mentally I thought it was good, and even the end of the game where unfortunately the penalty we got didn't go out, and we held on to come through.
Let's start with that resilience, first of all, because having had such a dominant display in the first half and a good start to the second, to fall behind to the first try of the game, it showed great character the way that the players bounced straight back and got the score so quickly.
100%. I thought that was fantastic. That really impressed me, and I think that was probably the key thing to come out of this game. Obviously we know we've got to take our opportunities, but I think there, as you say, after dominating, we suddenly find ourselves down. First try of the game scored by them, and we come back, we score, and we edge ahead again, and then we hold that lead.
Just looking at the missed opportunities, is it a lack of match sharpness, just not getting the pass away when you should?
I think it is perhaps, to some extent, certainly. And it's the same for all teams. We haven't had a lot of rugby. We finished playing. We didn't play the last game, so we played the Wednesday before. So it's been a good few weeks. We had a hit out where everybody in the squad participated. The 2 main teams of us in Northampton played those first 60. But, there hasn't been a lot of rugby.
There hasn't been a lot of rugby. Hopefully there's going to be quite a lot in the coming weeks, though.
No, there's going to be a lot in the coming weeks.
Next up is a tough trip away to Bristol. One of the toughest trips now in the Premiership. What particularly will you be working on in the week ahead of that one?
I think we've got to review this game, put it to bed, and we've got to take the lessons out of this game. We've certainly got to be more clinical where we get opportunities against a good side like that. We've got to be able to finish. I think that's the important thing.
Well done on the win, and enjoy it, and all the best next week.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, John.
Thank you very much.
You're right, 14's in the wrong side, you were fine. Your jacket was fine, 14's attacker in the wrong. Leave it! Advantage!
felt I could do with 1, 3 and 6.
So yeah, David, just double check the grounding, will you? So yeah, David, just double check the grounding.
Okay, stand by. And cue when you're ready.
Well, Declan, first up, we spoke before the game about progress being made. Results-wise, you're not going to say that that's progress, but performance-wise, what would you say?
Well, we built a rod to beat ourselves with in the first half because we had to defend so much. But the goal line defence held up really well. Some of our exiting then can improve that bit, but we need to learn how to hang on to the ball for longer phases of play. Like in the second half, we probably coughed up a few. You know, when you score, you can't be giving back a score, you know, a few minutes later. And yeah, there's things that are well within our control to fix there, which is, I suppose, the upside of it. It's just right now, so soon after the match, it's just disappointing not to have got the result.
Always disappointing to lose, but as you said again beforehand, you didn't chip 40 points here against Worcester, which you showed a really good defensive effort, and I should imagine that defensive effort from the first half is something you're particularly proud of.
Yeah, but I think we're better than that, so I wouldn't be leaning too much on that. It was a game, I think, that got away from us. Like in lots of ways, Worcester had I'm sure Alan will be talking about the same thing. You know, they had 2 kicks in the full off of penalties. On another day, maybe they could have scored a few, but we need to get better at a few aspects of our play, and we will do that for next Sunday.
Pleasing score, and putting together some decent phases of play there, starting to show exactly what you can do.
Yeah, just at the fringe of it, but that's what the training has gone in for, and we wouldn't be settling for that in any shape or form.
Would you say that there's a lack of match edge at the moment that was demonstrated out there today?
Yeah, probably by both sides, wasn't there? I saw the game last night as well then too, you know. It's do you play practice match in the lead up to it, given that you have 19 weekends in the bounce or not. That's why I think our second half was that bit better. We probably found our legs a little bit by half time, and we were obviously still well in the game, but I think I said before the game that it would probably go on little things, and I think that's what decided today's outcome.
Looking forwards, you've got your first matches at Brentford now, something that I should imagine you're all really looking forward to.
Yeah, well, look, it's a historic occasion for everybody connected with London Irish to be moving back into London, and it's an honour to be a part of that, and we're delighted with it. But you know, I've had experience of moving into new stadiums before, and it's up to us on the pitch just to concentrate on what happens between the whitewash to get ourselves ready for that, and to let everybody else then to enjoy the other surrounds. And you know, we need to get off the mark there now next week. You know, half the teams, I don't know, is there any draws this weekend? So 6 teams have won, 6 teams will have lost. So you know, those of us who haven't got a win will be fighting hard to get one for next week.
All the best next week. I hope it goes well, and bad luck today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers, Declan. Thank you very much. Thank you. Safe journey home.
So yeah, David, just double check the